Okay, I think
we're streaming.
You are now streaming. Let's make sure if yes, we are live. Yay! Okay, now I need to make it. The one thing I forgot to do is to make it to where we can see you. So let's see if that updates, because I don't want it to just be me. And if you're just tuning in, hello, I'm Val Cripps. I'm here with Keisha Dixon, my current GLOWUP activation client.
Woohoo!
Yay. Okay, so I can see you and I can see me. So this is good. I think
Awesome.
I wanted to have it be both of us, but let's see. So Keisha, I'm so excited us to have this. There it is. There we go. Now we have both of us going. So welcome to Valtopia TV. For those of you that are just joining, I'm Val Cripps. This is my art behind me, and I like to call myself a cosmic shamama, boss bitch, biz babe. I like to help my clients remember who the fuck they are because you guys are rock stars. And I would love to let you explain this experience more than me, because I seem chaotic and artistic and wild and mystical, and my clients, you guys find, inherently what it is about me that's going to draw you into integration. So welcome, Keisha, to the show, or whatever the stream.
Thank you so much, Val. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm so excited to share my experience. It's only been 2 weeks so far.
Yeah, 2
right?
weeks. Of course, we were connecting for a couple months before you actually made the decision. So let me hear a little bit about it from your perspective for my viewers, and I'm going to share while you're sharing.
So 2 months ago, we connected. You just suddenly appeared on my timeline, and you were talking, and I was so engrossed in your message about collapsing timelines, and it's exactly where I was at that point in my business, where I had a successful business, doing all the things, and there seemed to be like a plateau, and I couldn't figure it out. And when I heard you talk, I wrote to you immediately, and I was like, how did you get on my timeline?
Where you came from?
Where'd you come from? And I was following you for a little bit, for a few days, and I approached you regarding your program. And I was already locked into a business coach at the time. And I was like, well, I am expecting, and it's the truth, I'm expecting a large sum of money to come in when I sell my house. And so I was like, okay, I'll sign up then, because in my head, I was like, I'm at an income plateau. I'm doing all of the things. The last thing I need to do right now is invest and stay at this plateau. It felt like, no, that would make absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Right.
But I couldn't stop following. I couldn't stop watching. The messages kept coming, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I invested $8.88 in your coloring book. And during that time, I was coloring every day in your coloring book, and do it because it's more than a coloring book. It's an expansive coloring journey. I was doing the meditations and along with the coloring, and I was like, oh gosh, I knew that I really, really, really wanted to work with you, and I couldn't see how it was possible in my in that current situation. So you reached out to me. Oh, I for Thanksgiving, for my birthday, I suppose, I had ordered your bundle, your activation bundle, and that was phenomenal. You reached out to me 2 weeks ago, and you're like, make a decision.
How did you feel when I reached out to you? Like, did you feel a little, like, what came through for you?
Yeah, because I'm also a coach, I felt like I was being supported and cared for. And in that moment, I was being coached to the other side. And that felt very loving and felt very supportive. And it's interesting because it certainly hadn't been my approach with clients previously. I would kind of soft shoe around. Okay, yeah, no problem. If you're not ready yet, I'll follow up. But I loved how supported I felt in that moment. And with your guidance, I made the decision, and I came into this deciding energy. And when I say on paper, it made absolutely no sense. But when I paid the invoice, all of a sudden, it, even though we hadn't in that moment started working together, we really had started working together. And I know that you shared with me, one of your intentions is once the invoice is paid, your clients get cash infusions. And that is exactly what happened. I made a payment and I got an unexpected gift donation. I made a final payment, and in 3 days, I enrolled 7 new clients. So the last 2 days of December and the first day of January, I enrolled more clients in those 3 days than I had on average. Before that, my monthly average was like 4 to 5 clients a month. And I did that in 3 days. And then what's been happening since then is with the activation, I've been activating myself, and we did the activation yesterday. Yesterday, time bent. I had this preconceived belief that time meant something important when it came to manifestation. Like I knew I could manifest. I've manifested. Obviously, we all manifest. We're powerful co-creators. But I thought time had something to do with it. And I had this belief, it wasn't even subconscious. I knew I had this belief that I couldn't manifest under pressure. Like there had to be, take a week, 10 days, 13 days to manifest. And in one day yesterday, I made more money in cash deposits through my business than I had the entire month of December, which turned out to be a great month.
Because of our last days together.
Yeah, absolutely. Time has absolutely bent. So now from my investment in the GLOWUP, $5,000 investment, I'm already 2 weeks in at a ROI of 7 times my investment.
I love it.
Yeah. And there's so much more coming. It's, it's early in the month, early in the year. So there's so much more coming. Even more importantly than the money is how I'm feeling inside. Like I absolutely feel so grounded and so connected with my higher self. And in doing like this full body scan today, I feel zero resistance to any of my goals. And like I said, I already had an established business. I had clients, amazing clients who were getting amazing results. And the testimonials that rolled in yesterday it was just like one after the other. One client who started with me last week, based off of one telephone conversation, has an increase in her profit margin from 25% of 25 to 30%. Another client who had thought she was going to be laid off received an unexpected and most appreciated raise. Another client had created something last year. She started last week as well, had created something last year, never marketed it, wonderful product, but put it aside, wasn't sure what to do with it. And she was approached by an established business in her community to collaborate using that product. So that's like a 100% profit margin because she wasn't doing anything with that at all. Another client, her daughter, she's in overflow now. She's like, she's in the place where blessings just overtake you. And now her daughter received a promotion and an increase in salary by $11,000. Wow. And she's like, yes. Yeah. And that's what happens as we as leaders, right, start to glow up and we connect with someone who we intuitively know. Because I intuitively knew when you showed up on my timeline, I had never seen you before. I was like, oh, I have to work with her. I knew it. I just knew it. I didn't know how it would be possible.
Yeah. What does that intuitive knowing feel like? If you were talking to someone like you that's going to benefit from this work exponentially, like you have, first of all, I was just thinking, I didn't introduce you properly. So give us an introduction of what you are, what you do so that they know.
Oh, yeah.
And think about what would someone like you need to hear that shifted for you, that you were like, oh, I got to have that. And I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Keisha Dixon. I'm the founder of A Well Experience Inc. And I created the Monetize Your Mind Success System. So I help women double their income doing what they love. And I worked 33 years as an executive in corporate, making mid-6 figures, and took the leap from corporate in 2018. And I've been coaching full-time ever since. For me, I tend, like I have all my systems, I have all my ducks in a row. I am highly sensitive and intuitive, but I never, like, I would feel the feels, I would hear the things, I would smell the things, um, I would know the things and not speak on it necessarily. Not in a way that's like obvious.
Yeah.
And when I saw you and your creativity, and it was just this knowingness that, yeah, she has something that I need, because I could feel like the tightness when it came to the full expression of who I am. And, you know, when I left corporate, I thought I was burning up the corporate box, and yet I was neatly contained in it, workaholic, hardworking, doing all of the systems, and making a decent income doing it. But then it plateaued. Like the systems just kind of stalled out. Like, I'm doing all of the things. What's happening here?
Yeah.
What's happening here? Yeah. So you were just so creative. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but I was like, when you're intuitive, you just know that this is the next step. This is, we all know in part, right? And so you had a key to the part that I needed.
Yeah.
Conduit to the part that I needed next.
Yes.
Yeah. So my my higher self just knew that. My intuition knew that. And then the human part of me that's raising children and paying a mortgage and and footing the bill for all of the business expenses is like, yeah, really? Are we doing this? Really?
Yeah. And your results have been phenomenal. Like it really gave you the impetus to catapult yourself out of that stall that you were beginning to accept as the way it is.
Right.
Like, it's like the last thing to do when you're in that moment is to dance to some bongos and hire a PPR to mama, but guess what?
Right. Well,
ROI.
right. Because I mean, in 7Xing my ROI, I have stopped doing all of the things, which isn't to say I'm never going to do the things again. I'm going to start integrating them in a way that makes sense for me and really honors my intuition, because I'm getting the hits, right? I don't have to follow someone else's system, someone else's program in order for success to happen. But the things that I have been doing is dancing to bongos, listening to light language and coloring and journaling, and which is interesting because I'm a mindset coach. These are the things I would say, yeah, this is what you do.
Right.
And sometimes even as coaches, we get so stuck up in our own heads that we forget the very formula that works.
Right. And would you say that when you went to go do those things, you were experiencing a certain level of PTSD where you wouldn't let yourself, and a lot of the work we've been doing together is to identify where you freeze and to move beyond that. And to identify it and lead into like, well, what does an activation mean? Because you were like, what is it? I don't even know what an activation is, but I'm ready. You know?
I had no idea what an activation was. I Googled it. I still didn't have any idea. Everyone says something different. And yeah, when we first, the first few days I was experiencing, like, it's interesting. After signing on 7 clients in 3 days, I experienced what felt like PTSD. It felt like I could barely move. I couldn't get up. And because you offer daily support for your GLOWUP clients, I just wrote to you and told you, and like, no problem. And it was fixed, and I felt supported. And today, after receiving in 1 day more income than I had the previous month, I feel great. I feel like I've had a full body massage. I feel relaxed. I am thirsty. But other than that, I just feel great. Where in the past, I had a pattern where if I received 3, possibly 4 payments in a row, like back to back, 3 or 4 days, I would literally feel like I was in the fetal position, like I had broken a rule somehow. And that's not the case today. Like, my nervous system is like, this is where we're at. Let's go.
This is our new normal.
This
Yeah.
is our new normal. Let's do this. Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
would you say that the response trigger is gone, or you're able to recognize it and release it yourself, or it's a combination?
A few days ago, I was able to recognize it and release it myself. After the first PTSD, you supported me through that. And then I was able to like recognize it and release it pretty quickly. And today, I feel like the response trigger. I mean, I was doing all the scans this morning. I'm like, I have absolutely no resistance.
I love it when my clients say that. They're like, I went to go feel it and it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's just not there. It's not there. And another interesting thing that happened after activation, I shared with you, when I dreamt, after activation, I dreamt that I was going for like 4 or 5 dozen Krispy Kreme donuts, and I was going to eat them all at once. And I woke up in the middle of the night, and I sent you a boxer, like, I just had this dream that I was devouring Krispy Kreme donuts. Sugar was absolutely in the past an addiction for me. In the past, as of up to yesterday, was an addiction for me, and that was trying to come up in the dream. But I didn't eat the Krispy Kreme donuts in the dream. And this morning when I went to put 1 teaspoon of sugar in my coffee, it tasted like poison. And for the rest of the day, I've just been eating greens like avocado and kale and drinking water. And I feel so satisfied in a way that I would have in the past. I would be like, no, we need something else. We definitely need something else. And no, I don't, because I have everything I need inside of me.
Wow.
And that's like, so for me, that's so powerful, because one of the things that I had in the past had been a struggle was up and down in my weight and in my eating habits, and how much self-care I would allow myself in eating habits, and like that gone overnight without me having to do a thing.
And we haven't even started the green shake yet. So
I haven't started the green shake yet. I'm excited. I ordered it last night. I'm so excited about this. We're doing a cleanse, right?
Yes. And it's a supplement. So if you're, as you're already feeling that way because we did all those commands and set the intentions, and then to have the nourishment and support to your physical body is just like puts it over the edge. So you've talked about the grounding. Can you explain that to somebody that might not understand like what it feels like to be grounded the way we
are? It's so interesting because for years, I've been doing grounding. I ground and feel rooted into the earth, and at some point this week I wrote to you and I was like, I am feeling so much energy just running in my feet. Grounding is where you're like so solid and so present in your body and connected down into the earth. I had no idea that so much energy could run through my feet. I thought for 2 years now that I've been grounded. Apparently not so much. I'm now very grounded.
And isn't it amazing how it rapidly you can experience that shift? And what does that do? How does that change you? What does it do for you?
I feel like nothing could knock me off. Nothing could knock me off my center. I'm rooted in. Like, no matter what happens or what comes, it doesn't matter, because I'm in this energy of I've decided, and you can't shake me from that decision. And from there, I mean, my God, I'm looking forward to seeing what else happens, because it just feels so incredibly powerful and empowered. That has nothing to do with external forces. It has everything to do with this decisive energy, which started when you called me and said, you decide, you have to decide, in a very loving and supportive way.
Yeah. I was like, would you like support to figure out how to,
Yes. And you gave me that support. And I'm so great. I mean, this honestly, I probably could have gone on for months in that plateau. And this has supercharged and changed everything. And I am so incredibly grateful.
I am too. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see, I've had the experience too of investing in myself and my business. And because I'm unique and the work we do is deep and is in flow, that there are layers of us that we need to remove in order to embody the work. And when you don't get it right away, you can begin to tell yourself stories and feel, even though you've had incredible testimonials and shifts for your clients and you're doing the thing, there was some bits of savviness that you didn't know about how to raise your rates, and there was some bits of worthiness that you needed to shift. There's just a nice recipe, and to be able to come into that sense of certainty and confidence. I don't know that, and until you feel it, you understand it, right? Like it's just,
and it was so amazing. Like during the activation, some of the stuff that came up, I was surprised by. Like I was like, I'm carrying this. Hate came up. I was like, wow, like centuries old hate and rage and sadness and grief came up for release, and it's just been absolutely amazing. No wonder I feel like I've had a 6-hour massage, because I feel so light. Like I'm not carrying around all of this stuff that was just dragging me down and slowing me down and keeping me from where I kept saying I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what would be your, and then I want you to share whatever you'd like to about what you're offering right now. What would be your last words as someone's watching this, of like who this would work best for and why they shouldn't wait another minute to go apply on valtopia.com?
If you have a business and you have a successful business and you're experiencing any kind of slowdown or a plateau, or you've been in the same place for a minute, I mean, certainly that's where I was. Run, make a decision, run to Val Cripps, because I'm telling you, it's not painful. You're never going to see your own blind spots. Val can see it quickly, and she supports you throughout the entire process. And when she says like immediate cash infusions, it is so true. It is so true. I you can have all the systems in place. You can be contained and very structured in your approach with your own clients and getting amazing results. And you need a little push of this creative chaos that comes through Val Cripps.
The lightning bolt.
It is the lightning bolt, and it's the most amazing, illuminating experience. And I mean, this is only week 2.
Yeah. Yay!
I
love it.
Yeah.
So in this great new inspiration, I know you've been birthing new programs, and you have a fresh one-to-one container and a fresh, so share with us what you've got.
Yeah, well, I have them. It's been revamped a bit. I've had it for a while. It's called Monetize Your Mind Success System. I work with one-to-one clients. I only work with up to 3 one-to-one clients in any given time period. As we uncover the root sources of your wealth, confidence, and joy set points, and then we heal that so you can shatter your glass ceiling that's stopping you from that next level of income. We future design so that you can set an outrageous income goal, and then we turn on that Vixen mindset so that you're visible, inspired, needed, excited, and just completely magnetized. And we implement the entire time with mindset and action meet moments. I call them MAM moments. So I do that one-to-one, and I also have the exact same program in a group program setting where you get dripped out to you once a week for 14 weeks, 14 delicious processes to help monetize your mind, and 6 months of group coaching support. So I'm excited about the testimonials that are coming in. Another thing I forgot to mention, I went from working, I don't even know how many hours a week, but if I had to guess, it was probably like 40, possibly 50 to 15.
15. And you have kids, and you're a busy woman. You have a lot going on.
Yeah, I have 6 kids, but only 2 still live with me because the rest are adults. 3 grandchildren, and busy. Yeah. I can't say I'm busy anymore. Now I'm free.
From 40 plus to 15 hours.
Yeah. Exploring and dancing and walking along the beach and just doing my thing.
Yeah. And was it scary at first to let go? Sorry.
To let go of the hours, I thought that would be my biggest challenge, and I had decided in December that was part of my intention for 2020 to reduce my hours, and I thought it was going to be challenging, and it's just kind of happened naturally. But I know that's because of the work I'm doing with you, because that was a long ingrained habit.
Yeah. And if you could describe how the energy works, like that's the secret sauce, isn't it? Like the other stuff, like it's all amazing, but there's something about the energy. How could you describe that?
The energy, like I can feel it when you're running the frequencies. I can feel it, and I'll start burping or belching, or just like a lot of times it's happening in my sleep. I'll a lot of releasing. A lot of stuff is coming up for observation, review, integration, or release while I'm sleeping. And it feels refreshing. Sometimes there are waves of other emotions that come up. But I can't really describe. It's hard for me to describe, but I know it works. Yeah, it works. It absolutely works. And I'm just showing up as a different person. And my boldness and my full expression of myself, like when I get these intuitive hits, when I'm feeling something, when I'm working with a client and I'm feeling like pain in my jaw from their anger or anything else that's coming up, I'm just saying it. And they're like, breakthrough after breakthrough based on those intuitive hits that in the past I hadn't communicated in any real way. And now I'm owning it.
Mm-hmm. And then that's what leads to that sense of fulfillment and confidence and certainty. Whereas before, how much was that contributing to you feeling inflated and like kind of like that disconnect when you don't deliver it through? You don't get to that level of connection that you're knowing is there for you.
Yeah, you don't get to the level of connection. And also I was feeling like guilt. Like guilt, and oh, maybe there's something wrong with me, or this doesn't feel like it's right, you know. And we're talking about a part of myself, so I was self-loathing.
Yeah. So you feel that split from yourself, and
you feel the split.
And this work that we're doing lets you come into a cohesive unity and actually stream that through, and then you feel that reverberated back to you and reflected back to you.
Yes.
Wait, one last thing. The portrait. So I decided to bonus Keisha with one of my amazing Valtopia style portraits. Tell us about it.
Oh my God, it's everything. I mean, you can't see it here, but it is everything. I can't wait till you send me the, so I can reveal it. It's everything. I'm looking at this portrait. I received it about 30 minutes ago, and I couldn't stop looking at it. And what really struck me is there's so much like purple. And I all day today while you were activating the portrait, I've been writing in a purple pen. I never write in a purple pen.
I love that.
I was journaling to my now ideal soul aligned clients in purple. I'm wearing a collarbone where I would never wear a necklace, and I'm wearing amethyst, and I'm like, oh my God, you were like so tuned in. And when I look at this version of me, I absolutely know, this is me. This is who I am. This is who I am. And I just love it. Oh my God. It feels like it's saying I cannot be contained. I cannot be defined. Those old constructs are burned away. It's just not mine. It's not mine anymore. It's more than queen state. It's sovereign. It's just amazing.
Yay.
Hey, thank you.
Well, we will share more as we go because you're delightful, and it's a blessing for us to learn from you. And I'm so excited for us to transcend our old stories and to show up in our grace and our joy and our fire and our pepper, and to bring through who we are, and to show the fuck up talking about money and doubling your money when some older part of us is like, I can't believe you're doing that. Yeah, we're doing it, and it's actually
doing it. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's take radical responsibility and learn about how to be the master of our own energy, body, and being, and glow the fuck up. Right?
That's it. That's it.
I love it.
Michelle.
thank you so much, Keisha. And thank you everybody for watching. And we'll put links for everything in the comments, and you can do the glow up and own your frequency, supernova. There is nobody like you.
Nobody like you. Bye, Val.